Every legend in history, the Edisons, Carnegies, Disneys, Lincolns, was once ordinary. They felt fear. They faced doubt. They were tempted by comfort, by hesitation, by the quiet seduction of mediocrity. But one choice separated them from the millions who would never rise. They decided that nothing external would dictate their life. That choice ignited a fire that burned hotter with each failure, each obstacle, each night spent grinding while the world slept. That fire is what you are capable of igniting today. That fire is the essence of self-mastery. Self-mastery is not an event, it is a lifestyle. It is a commitment to clarity when confusion surrounds you, to belief when doubt taunts you, to discipline when fatigue beckons, to action when fear whispers to stop. It is the courage to control the chaos within so that the chaos outside bows to your resolve. Edison spent countless nights perfecting what others called impossible. Disney endured ridicule and bankruptcy while building worlds the skeptics said could not exist. Lincoln carried the weight of a nation on his shoulders while the voices of despair clamored for surrender. What separated them was not luck, not privilege, not circumstance. It was mastery of self. Every thought you allow, every emotion you entertain, every action you delay, every compromise you make, these are the forces that either nourish your legend or bury it quietly. The ordinary man surrenders. He lets thoughts control him, emotions dominate him, circumstances dictate him, and time slip away. The master rises above. He dictates thought, governs emotion, designs circumstance, and harnesses time as a weapon. Self-mastery turns chaos into order, fear into fuel, weakness into leverage, and desire into destiny. Momentum builds when mastery is relentless. The ordinary struggle to start. The master cannot be stopped. Every habit perfected compounds. Every lesson learned accelerates the next victory. Every challenge met sharpens the mind, steels the heart, and refines the soul. Mastery converts the mundane into opportunity, the small into monumental, the impossible into inevitable. It is the quiet force that transforms effort into legacy, action into immortality, discipline into triumph. Gratitude, focus, resilience, and obsession fuse together in the master. The ordinary complains about circumstance. The legend observes, adapts, and executes. The ordinary envies success. The legend studies it, understands the mechanisms, and replicates it with refinement. The ordinary fears failure. The master embraces it as a teacher, a weapon, and a stepping stone. This is why the ordinary fade quietly while legends endure loudly, because mastery of self turns every weakness into strength, every limitation into leverage, every moment into advantage. Now, feel it within you. The quiet war is raging. The battlefield is your mind. The spoils are life itself. Will you allow your impulses, your doubts, your fears, and your distractions to dictate your destiny? Or will you rise, seize control, and forge yourself into a legend? Self-mastery is the bridge between the man you are and the man the world will remember. It is the tool that transforms ordinary men into forces that shape industries, nations, and the hearts of generations. Legends are not born, They are forged, and you are standing at the forge. The fire is blazing. The hammer is in your hands. Every decision you make, every action you take, every thought you command, every fear you conquer, every sacrifice you endure, these strike the anvil of your life, shaping it into something timeless. Obsession, clarity, discipline, resilience, adaptability, momentum. These are the molten elements of your legend. Control them. Command them. Let them burn brighter than hesitation, doubt, or fear. Rise. Master yourself. Make decisions that align every fiber of your being with your highest vision. Act with relentless intensity. Persist when all else fails. Harness your emotions. Adapt to the unexpected. Build influence. Multiply momentum. Perfect your craft. Guard your mind. Protect your fire. And when the world whispers that you are ordinary, that you cannot succeed, that your dreams are too big, smile. Because you have learned the ultimate truth, ordinary men surrender, masters endure, legends are unstoppable. And so you step forward, not timidly, not cautiously, but with the fire of conviction, the armor of discipline, the sword of resilience, and the momentum of unstoppable purpose. You are no longer ordinary. You are not bound by circumstance, doubt, or fear. You are a legend in the making, because you have mastered yourself. The world cannot stop you. Time cannot stop you. Fate itself cannot resist you. You are the author, the architect, the force, and the proof that ordinary men can become legends, if and only if they master themselves. Now, burn, rise, master, become. Emotional control is the hidden engine of the master's mind. Ordinary men are prisoners of their feelings. Fear paralyzes them, anger misleads them, doubt distracts them. Every decision becomes hostage to mood, every action sabotaged by impulse. Masters, however, do not suppress emotion, they command it. They convert fear into preparation, anger into focus, and doubt into deeper analysis. Edison felt frustration as filament after filament failed, but he harnessed it into unrelenting experimentation. Disney felt despair after studio collapsed, but he channeled it into creativity that no failure could suppress. Lincoln faced despair so profound it could have broken any other man, but he turned grief into resolve, loss into strategy, and tragedy into leadership. The man who commands his emotions commands reality. He bends every circumstance to his purpose, and no storm outside can shake the calm inside. Focus is the blade that cuts through distraction. In a world screaming for attention, ordinary men scatter their energy. Social media, idle chatter, comfort, fleeting pleasures, they steal time, blur purpose, and weaken resolve. The master cultivates focus like a sharpened sword. Every thought, every action, every hour is aligned with a single vision. Carnegie spent decades building empires, while others wasted years in indecision. Edison pursued the perfection of light, while the world mocked his obsession. Disney refined every frame of animation, while naysayers predicted failure. Focus is not about intensity alone. It is about relentless alignment between mind, action, and vision. The focused mind becomes a force that cannot be deflected. Purpose is the heartbeat of mastery. Without purpose, action is hollow, discipline is weak, and mastery is empty. Ordinary men drift, reacting to circumstances, wandering through life as if by accident. Masters act with direction, fueled by an unyielding why. Lincoln's purpose, to preserve a nation and end slavery, drove decisions that defied fear, fatigue, and opposition. Carnegie's purpose, to create wealth and influence to leave a legacy, shaped choices that others called audacious. Disney's purpose, to craft stories that inspire wonder, kept him moving through ridicule and ruin. When purpose commands the mind, every thought, every emotion, every action serves an unmistakable vision. The world becomes a tool, and the man becomes unstoppable. Adaptability is the armor of the mind in motion. Life will never conform to your plan. The ordinary fold. The master adjusts. Edison experimented tirelessly because light demanded refinement. Disney pivoted and reinvented his studios because the market demanded evolution. Lincoln modified strategy after strategy because survival required it. Adaptability does not weaken purpose, it strengthens it. It allows the mind to navigate chaos, to turn obstacles into opportunity, to bend circumstance to vision. To command your future, you must bend like steel under fire, but never break. Influence is the natural result of mastery. The ordinary man seeks it externally, through titles, recognition, and approval. The master cultivates it internally, through competence, integrity, and relentless performance. Carnegie inspired loyalty and action through example. Disney inspired devotion through imagination executed flawlessly. Lincoln commanded obedience through clarity, courage, and conviction. Influence is not requested, it is earned. It is the echo of a mind in total command, projecting authority, competence, and inevitability. When mastery radiates outward, the world listens, and eventually it follows. Momentum is the final, unstoppable force of a commanded mind. Ordinary men start, stall, and fade. Masters ignite momentum, and it becomes self-propelling. Every victory compounds. Every lesson accelerates the next. Every small action builds a cascade of unstoppable force. Edison's thousands of failed experiments became momentum that produced the incandescent light. Disney's iterations became momentum that created universes. Lincoln's daily resolve became momentum that preserved a nation. Once momentum engages, nothing can stop it. Fear is powerless, doubt impotent, opposition irrelevant. Momentum is not just movement, it is inevitability. Commanding your mind is not optional. It is the law of life. Every thought allowed unchecked, every emotion uncontrolled, every action delayed, every fear indulged, it compounds into a life of quiet failure. Every thought commanded, every emotion harnessed, every action decisive, every obstacle mastered, it compounds into a life of relentless achievement. Command your mind, and you command time, opportunity, circumstance, and destiny. Fail to command it, and your dreams die quietly while the world marches on. Now, stand and look inward. Feel the battlefield within. The chaos, the doubts, the fears, they are all illusions, shadows of a mind not yet fully commanded. Ordinary men bow to them. Masters face them and turn them into instruments of power. Every thought, every emotion, every impulse, every hesitation, they are yours to command, or they are yours to obey. The choice is not optional. To command your mind is to command your life. To fail to command, it is to surrender to circumstance, to drift in mediocrity, to watch dreams fade quietly while others seize what could have been yours. Legends are forged not in comfort, but in the fires of discipline, in the storms of adversity, in the crucible of relentless self-command. Edison spent nights alone, surrounded by darkness and failure, yet he commanded his mind to persist until the filament glowed. Lincoln endured grief that could have shattered any man, yet he commanded his mind to endure, to act, to lead. Disney faced ridicule, bankruptcy, and despair, yet he commanded imagination and labor into worlds that would never die. Every man who has left a mark on history first mastered the thoughts within. The world obeys a mastered mind. It resists the unmastered. Commanding your mind is not a task. It is a lifestyle. It is waking before the world sleeps, thinking while the masses complain, acting while the indifferent hesitate, believing when doubt screams louder than reason. It is the relentless alignment of clarity, belief, discipline, focus, emotional control, purpose, adaptability, and momentum. It is the decision that no obstacle, no fear, no failure, no distraction will ever dictate your course again. This is the law that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. There is no other way. Imagine the man who commands every thought, who harnesses fear into preparation, doubt into study, frustration into fuel, who aligns every action with a singular vision, executes relentlessly, adapts without hesitation, and lets momentum carry him forward like an unstoppable tide. That man cannot be stopped. He does not wait for opportunity. He creates it. He does not hope for success. He designs it. He does not fear the world. He bends it to his will. Every legend you admire, every titan you respect, every person history remembers, they began here, in the same place you stand now, in the mind that refused to surrender. Do not fool yourself into thinking this is easy. It is not. Nothing that commands the world is easy. Edison tested thousands of filaments before one burned. Disney faced countless studios that failed before one succeeded. Lincoln bore grief, despair, and political assassination attempts while keeping a nation intact. The master knows the path is hard. The ordinary is broken by difficulty, but the difficulty is proof. It is the hammer shaping your will. Every trial is a signal that your mind is being forged into a weapon capable of shaping life itself. Gratitude is the secret reinforcement of the commanded mind. The master appreciates the lessons, the struggles, the failures, the victories, even the smallest. Gratitude turns resistance into fuel, setbacks into insight, scarcity into resourcefulness. It is the unspoken power that turns discipline into joy, action into fulfillment, and mastery into greatness. Every day, every hour, every breath is an opportunity to refine the mind, to strengthen control, to reinforce command over the inner world so that the outer world bends effortlessly to your will. So rise. Decide now that the battlefield within is yours to master. Declare that every thought is under your command, every emotion your ally, every action a step toward destiny. Reject hesitation, refuse surrender, obliterate doubt. Align every fiber of your being with the life you are determined to create. Clarity, belief, discipline, focus, emotional control, purpose, adaptability, influence, momentum, and gratitude. They are not concepts. They are weapons. Wield them with precision. Wield them relentlessly. Wield them until the ordinary can no longer recognize you, until the world has no choice but to follow. The man who commands his mind is unstoppable. The man who commands his mind shapes reality. The man who commands his mind does not chase success, he becomes it. The man who commands his mind is not ordinary. He is not average. He is a legend in the making, an unstoppable force, a life lived on purpose, a future carved with precision, and a destiny claimed with conviction. Now, burn this into your consciousness. There is no other way. To rise, to conquer, to become, first you must command your mind. Every victory begins there. Every empire begins there. Every life transformed begins there. Command it. Protect it. Strengthen it. Master it. And the world will have no choice but to follow.